Howdy doody, friends. Oh boy, does it feel good to be recording again. Hi guys. It's been a little bit. As you guys know. Short and sweet. For any of you who just haven't really been around too much on the channel for the past 2 weeks or so, I have been on break. I've taken my first official announced, well, not first. I've taken my, first official announced break in a while. It's been quite a while since I've done that. And I wanted to talk a little bit about it because there's a lot of really big things happening right now. Now, for those who did not see anything about it, I won't go too much into detail as to why I went on break. It was just due to a lot of personal life stuff. However, something that has been really cool that I have had the opportunity to really allow myself to take the time to think about is I've had the time to sit down for a moment and kind of think about not necessarily the state of this channel. That's a lot less of my worry, if you will, but a lot more about the type of content that I do. And, you know, do I want to change anything going forward? And I've realized that there is a big part in my heart that really wants change on this channel in terms of how content is done, the different types of things we do on here. And needless to say, a lot's going to be changing. I think a lot of it is going to be very drastic change for those of you who've been around for a little bit. But I think, honestly, for those of you who have come around for a lot of my more well-known things, such as the Perfectly Normal Friday Night Funkin' playthroughs, the corruption videos, whatever it may be, you guys are going to get a lot of good information out of this. So I don't want to make this too long, so let's just start out from the main things I want to mention.
You're fucking dead.
The first thing that I feel like is worth pointing out is that content and what I do in terms of being involved here going forward is actually going to be very centered around streaming. Now, I know what you're thinking. For some of you, that might not be the best thing, and you may be thinking, like, you know, what's your point in doing your YouTube stuff if all you're going to be doing on YouTube or whatever is just going to be streaming, right? Now, here's the thing. A lot of my reason for wanting to do this is purely due to interest in being able to have an interaction thing, allowing myself to go to a different environment, as well as the setups for streaming can lead a lot into the certain types of content we're going to do. And again, I really think on the forefront, one of the most exciting things about this whole change and this whole new chapter of the channel, I feel, is going to be the amount of content we're opening up. The amount of content that I feel like I have left some of you guys hanging on that, to be honest, is where most of this audience came from. And, you know, I don't necessarily have this whole feeling like I haven't done certain things justice, because at the end of the day, the most important thing in terms of just what I do here on YouTube is making sure I do things I enjoy. And I'm in a place where I can enjoy a lot of the things now that a lot of you guys enjoy the most. And I think that's very exciting. Now, as for the streaming schedule and just a little more info on it, in terms of where you can find me for streaming, you will actually, the plan right now is that you will be seeing me both here on the YouTube channel, as well as, this is not a completely set in stone one, but we're also looking to do some multi-streaming stuff to be cross-platform with both YouTube and Twitch. So if there's a bit more information on Twitch, I will inform you guys of it. Right now, I want you guys to kind of assume there's going to be a Twitch thing. If not, well, I guess there's not going to be a Twitch thing. But that is the plan. You can find me over here on the channel, which I'm sure is where most of you guys are going to be for streams if you do come. And there's also going to be stuff over on Twitch if you want to support me that way. You know, just a little more traction to both ends. I feel like really allowing myself to open up to multiple platforms is really a great thing. As for the schedule, and if I'm going to be streaming at certain times on certain days, there is a plan for that. I am not going to be just like streaming nilly-willy like I used to when I used to stream. A lot of things with streaming are getting revamped, because I used to do streaming back when I was doing a lot of filler stuff for figuring out what the next chapter of the channel was around a year ago. But I've now kind of figured out a lot of streaming, because I feel like a lot of my issue was I was very unorganized with how I did streams, just because, again, they were so impulsive. There was no schedule, which I don't think the schedule is necessarily the issue, but there was no formatting, which is something I'm going to get into here in a sec. But in terms of the actual schedule, the plan is that you're going to be able to find me on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at, I believe, 7 a.m. PST, which for me is 9 a.m. So 7 a.m. PST, I believe. If there's a correction on that, I will put it up on screen while editing this. But that is the plan as far as I'm aware. Now, as for the things that we're going to be streaming, what are we actually going to be streaming? Is there going to be an actual format for how we do things? Is it going to be gaming stuff? Is it going to be IRL stuff? What am I going to be doing? The format is, in fact, we're going to be doing gaming stuff. I mean, I felt like that was kind of going to be a given. You know, I'm a gaming channel. It's kind of to be expected. But the plan is each stream is going to be kind of divided up into 2 different segments. You're going to have the segment of the first thing that we play, which is going to 99% of the time be dedicated to the Binding of Isaac. Now, here's the thing. I know I mentioned at the beginning of this that a lot of what I'm trying to do in terms of the types of content that we introduce on these streams, even though I did mention that a lot of it is going to be dedicated to a lot of the things that you guys have been kind of left hanging on for a little while. The Binding of Isaac is one thing I just kind of want to throw in there as a pretty regular thing because I really do have a deep love for it in my heart. I know it's not really the most popular thing here on this channel, but it's just more of a personal thing that I want to do, and if any of you guys want to join me on that, that would be absolutely great. It won't always be the Binding of Isaac as our first segment, but I do think a good amount of the time it will be that. Now, where I think a lot of you guys will really get a lot of your enjoyment out of is the second segment. Now, I don't necessarily have a set in stone thing for the second segment. The plan is we do around 2 runs of Isaac. That's your first segment. And then you have your second segment, which is going to be dedicated to whatever ideas I come up with. And there's a lot of rough ideas I have planned outside of general games that I may find interest in playing here on the channel. And that, some of those things, and this is where I think some of you guys are going to pop off. Corruptions. I want to bring up corruptions for a second, because corruptions are a big thing that I am really, really looking to bring back here on the channel. I know corruptions are basically the foundation of what brought this channel to where it is to this point. And I have been searching for a while on ways that I can feel like I can do corruptions without them possibly coming off as you're coming back for clout, and more or less just finding a way to come back to him as, you know, an outsider could look at it as like, oh, he's doing it for genuine enjoyment. So I've been finding a bunch of ways to do that, and I think really this new chapter with streaming and everything, I think is going to be a really good way to execute this per se. I think it's going to be a very good way to go about it personally. Along with this, for you perfectly normal FNF playthrough people, I know obviously that's kind of been a lot of the forefront for a certain group of the audience that has been pushing for content right now. And so I do want it to be known that I feel as if, and you may not seem like it, but you got to hear me out. I do feel as if that streaming is going to be a really good opportunity for me to get back into consistently. I know I did the airplanes one like a month and a half ago, but I think that streaming is going to be a very good way for me to get back into doing the Perfectly Normals consistently, because I do actually have a pretty big plan for how to incorporate this into streaming. Basically, if you decide on, or if you happen to join the stream around the second half, or for the whole thing, whatever, floats your boat, whatever cookies your crumble. I don't know if that's an actual saying. If you decide to join during the second half, you may be able to be joining in on the development of a Perfectly Normal, the making of, the behind the scenes. You guys get to see the process of this. A lot of this idea was kind of inspired from back when I was doing a lot of my filler content. I think in early January, or like in early 2020, I was actually doing streams where I would, on stream, obviously it wasn't formatted very well because I didn't have a proper format then, but something that I would do from time to time on stream is I would go through a music making, song making process. For those of you who haven't listened to my music, by the way, you should go listen to my music. Not to really flaunt it there, but it's a possibility. Stream grievances on Bandcamp, maybe Smoke, I don't know. But the plan is that in a similar fashion to that, we are going to be doing behind the scenes / making of the Perfectly Normal FNF videos. And it also will play into it a little bit of something very interesting that I'm going to get into in terms of the actual YouTube video content itself, because a lot of what I'm saying obviously sounds like it's so dedicated to streaming. So you may be wondering, hey Jordan, what's the actual video content going to be dedicated to? I'd like to call this segment the Revamped Videos segment. That's kind of what I wrote down in my notes over on my other monitor. Video style is going to be heavily revamped to something that I think is going to be very refreshing for me, and based on just past feedback, I think will be something very enjoyable for you guys as well. Future videos are going to be in a much more edited, comedic, like meme edit style from this point onwards. That is going to be the plan, and as you can imagine, due to the fact that a lot of what we're going to be doing in terms of recording or film process is going to be streaming, these are going to be stream highlights of the different things that we do on stream, whether it's Isaac runs, whether it's, corruptions, which will just get released as their own videos from the stream highlights, or even, for you perfectly normal FNF people, I will even have a own separate video come out after the perfectly normal FNF playthrough we develop on stream comes out, and I will be releasing the behind the scenes of that after that playthrough comes out, which is going to be, I think, super cool. It almost gives like a film style, you know how you release the content, aka the perfectly normal FNF playthrough video, and then you release the behind the scenes making of, which is in that meme format that a lot of you guys would be used to. And I think this is going to be extremely cool. This whole thing for me is very exciting because while I have while I have personally very much loved doing the very uncut, edited style, I feel as if there is a personal itch for proper edits that I haven't been able to do in a long time. A lot of practice, a lot of, just exposure to that editing style that I used to do. That so many of you guys are so familiar with and that I've been doing for years. But while I do have a very big soft spot for the uncut edits, I feel like a good filler for that now will be these streams themselves. And I really feel like we'll be able to fulfill both sides of the coin when it comes to both the very, heavy edit itched style in terms of the actual content itself, and then if any of you guys are looking for more chill uncut stuff, you can find it in the VODs. And in terms of the VODs, I should mention, by the way, you'll be able to find the VODs for the streams in an unlisted playlist here on the channel. They will hopefully be updated pretty soon. Every time a stream gets complete, the VODs will be posted in that playlist, and an unlisted playlist for your viewing pleasure. So that's the idea in terms of videos, just so you didn't get the potential, the hunch that we were only going to be doing streaming. There was going to be no videos, glad you guys kind of got to get that information out of the way. And now for what I feel as if is probably a pretty important segment. When am I coming back? When is, it seems like I've got everything planned out. I've got everything under control. I know what I'm wanting to do. So when am I going to be fully coming back? I know I've been making very here and there, just random styled videos, but when am I going to be making my full return with this change intact? In terms of my plans for making a full return that isn't just these random sprawled out meme videos that I do when I'm just, off the walls crazy, on Discord calls or something. I'm planning to come back October the 11th, Monday, October the 11th, with the very first stream. And that is going to be the planned date for coming back. So, mark your calendars, October 11th, 7 a.m. PST. That is going to be when we return with streams. And if any of you guys are wondering in terms of when actual videos are going to be scheduled to release, because I want to be able to dedicate a lot of time to being able to make very quality videos in terms of, the editing and everything for you guys, I just want it to be known that there is not going to be a proper schedule for videos. There's no plan for that. However, rough idea is that you should be at least expecting 1 to 2 videos a week. At least 1 to 2 videos a week, if not more. It just depends on how heavy the workload is, how heavy my drive to edit is, just whatever. And that is the plan. So that's pretty much everything that you guys need to be updated on. Again, this is very different. I'm not used to doing this. This is going to be... I've gone through different chapters of this channel, different content styles, but I definitely think this is going to be the most new type for me. This is going to be the newest, and most fresh thing that we've ever done. And I think it's going to be very exciting. So if you guys are going to be interested in my streams, again, remember Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 a.m. PST is the plan for streaming. At the very minimum, you will see me here on YouTube streaming, but there is also a chance that you'll be able to support me over on Twitch. And if you'll be able to do that, I will make sure to drop a link somewhere in a community post or whatever it may be. Remind you guys maybe on the first stream back. I have no idea. I will also say, quick little reminder, you guys will likely be seeing a video from me coming up this Tuesday, October 5th, because I'm going to be doing a video on my reaction to the new Smash reveal. So be on the lookout for that. That's just going to be kind of a weird one-off video, but I did want that to be put out there, that I'm going to be having a video go up that day. And yeah, so hopefully you guys will be interested in what I have planned, and I love you guys to death, and I hope to see you here really soon. Bye-bye, guys!